wrong. Let's see. Now we want to do the reverse. We've got something that's given to us in scientific notation, and we want to put it in regular, standard notation, which means turn it into a normal number. So whenever you see standard notation, they mean turn it into just an ordinary number. So we're going to do the reverse. This direction is actually easier. So what we're going to do is on this first one, we've got 4.76 times 10 to the 5th. Well, what that does is it tells us where to start. And it tells us that you need to start with the number that's out in front, which is the 4.76. Well, the fact that we've got a times 10 to the 5th power tells us we need to actually move our decimal 5 places. The question is which direction? Well, because the exponent is positive, we should be making our number a big number. How do I make sure that it's a big number? Well, the only way to make my number bigger is if I move my decimal place to the right. So I'm going to move my decimal place, because it was a 5th exponent, to the right to make it bigger. 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there my decimal will be on that 5th moving place. So the question is, what do I fill in my blank 3 spots with? I fill them in with placeholders of 0, which tells me my same number as a regular number is 476,000. And that's my final answer. Let's take a look at B. In B, we're going to start out with 9.8, our regular number. And then we're going to use our exponent. Notice our exponent on this one is a -3. It tells me I'm going to move my decimal place three places, but the negative tells me that my number should be getting really small and turning into an even smaller decimal. And the only way to make my number smaller and more of a decimal is to move my decimal to the left. So I'm going to move it, remember, 3 places. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 places. So here's my new decimal. And again, just like before, all my empty spots are going to get filled in with zeros. So what that gives me now is 0.0098. And that's my final answer. Let's take a look at problem C. In problem C, we've got 8.91 that we would be starting out with, because we want to start out with the beginning of our number. The question is what that exponent of 2 does. Remember, because the exponent here, the 2, is positive, it should be making our number bigger. So it tells us we're going to move our decimal place to the right to make our number bigger. How many places? The 2 places that are on our exponent. So 1, 2, so the decimal goes at the end. So that gives us the number 891 with the decimal at the end. Remember, if the decimal's at the end of the number, you don't have to write it. So it just becomes the number 891. Here's another one. Let's take a look at problem D. In problem D, we've got 5.42 as our decimal that we would be starting out with. And let's see, we've got our 5.42 and we've got our exponent of -4. The -4, because it's negative, means our number is actually going to get smaller. Well, the only way to get our number to be smaller and more of a negative, or to get it more of a decimal, because of the negative exponent, would be to move the decimal to the left. So moving it to the left 4 units would go 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left, and then all of our empty spaces, which there's 3 of them, would get filled with zeros. So what this gives us is now a very small decimal of 0.000542. And that's our final answer.